What is the impact of attempts to repeal Dodd-Frank? The conversation around the Dodd-Frank Wall Street Reform and Consumer Protection Act is quite lively. Since its introduction in 2010, this law has been a hot topic in the financial world. Designed to address the issues that led to the 2008 financial crisis, Dodd-Frank aimed to reduce risks in the banking system and protect consumers. However, attempts to repeal or weaken this legislation have created a complex environment for financial institutions. Many of these efforts have been led by Republican lawmakers who argue that Dodd-Frank imposes excessive burdens on smaller banks and stifles economic growth. For instance, the Financial Choice Act passed the House in 2017 sought to undo key parts of Dodd-Frank. Then, in 2018, the Economic Growth, Regulatory Relief, and Consumer Protection Act was signed into law, easing some regulations, especially for regional banks. So, what are the effects of these repeal attempts? First, there is regulatory uncertainty. The ongoing political debates have left financial institutions unsure about what rules they need to follow. While some regulations were relaxed, many core provisions of Dodd-Frank remains in place, creating a patchwork of rules. Next, there is the question of financial stability. Critics of the repeal efforts argue that weakening Dodd-Frank has made the banking system more vulnerable. The collapse of Silicon Valley Bank in 2023 reignited discussions about whether the rollback of certain safeguards contributed to this failure. On the flip side, some argue that Dodd-Frank itself had flaws that may have played a role in these issues. Consumer protection is another area of concern. The Consumer Financial Protection Bureau, created by Dodd-Frank, has faced challenges and attempts to limit its authority. Efforts to repeal parts of Dodd-Frank have raised alarms about reducing protections for consumers against unfair financial practices. Legal challenges have also emerged. Some lawsuits have questioned the constitutionality of certain provisions, such as the structure of the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau and the Orderly Liquidation Authority. These legal battles keep the law under scrutiny and in the public. Lastly, there are economic implications. Opponents of Dodd-Frank claim it introduced over 400 new rules that burden job creators. Repeal efforts often focus on reducing these regulatory costs to stimulate lending and economic growth, particularly by smaller banks. In the grand scheme of financial history, these repeal attempts highlight the ongoing struggle to balance regulation with economic freedom. The initial passage of Dodd-Frank marked a shift towards stricter oversight after a major crisis. The subsequent efforts to weaken it illustrate the tension between preventing future crises and avoiding excessive regulation. Overall, attempts to repeal Dodd-Frank have not led to a complete rollback but have resulted in selective easing of regulations and ongoing debates about the best approach to financial oversight in the United States. The impact of these attempts continues to shape how banks operate, how regulators enforce rules, and how consumers are protected in today's financial landscape.